welcome to another episode of Ask Todd. My name is Todd Malloy, the relationship, intimacy, and sex therapist. I've been working with couples for over 30 years in a wide variety of ways, and this is my opportunity to be a resource to you as a source of information, a source of help, a source of growth that we all collectively achieve our greatest selves and have a life worth celebrating. So, without further ado, I'd like to start off with a regular person that sends in questions, and I appreciate it. I'm not talking about you. I'm saying thank you for your interest. This is also from Tavian S. He actually sent quite a few questions, but they were good questions. This question is, when is the right time to tell you're someone special that you love them? Well, actually, you can tell them when that's your experience. But the important thing is that you have to understand that that's your experience. And it's your experience may not be reciprocated by the other person. And that's okay. It's really about you being truthful about your experience and level setting with the other person that you can navigate the rest of the relationship with the appropriate mindset. But be honest with yourself, and if that's where you're at, be willing to be transparent and vulnerable enough to share that, because true intimacy comes from a place when we individually and collectively are transparent, we're willing to be vulnerable, and we allow ourselves to feel safe. So again, when that true feeling is happening, that true experience, and you're demonstrating it through action, feel free to talk about it. But also in the midst of loving someone, also understand that I think it's important for you to do your own self-work in that, hey, I love you, but why do I love you? Am I aware of myself enough to understand my boundaries or understand my quirks, my uniquenesses, and things of that nature, and that I identify this person as a true complement to who I am that can create an environment that we can both thrive. And once you've defined yourself individually about who you are, what you are, and how this person complements you, and that's the feeling and the experience that you want to share and demonstrate in action, please feel free. But again, own your own experience, and whether they receive you or not, you were truthful with your experience, and that's the most important thing. And again, by sharing your truth, now level sets you such that you can move forward in the healthiest of way, no matter what direction. So George C. asked, when do you know when the relationship isn't worth fighting for? Really, the relationship isn't worth fighting for anymore when it begins to erode who you are as a person. We all have a kind mind and character of person that we believe we are and that we want to reflect. But if we're in a relationship and it does not complement us but erodes us, then it's time to at least begin to have a conversation and to level set whatever the conflicts are. If you don't feel that you're having enough intimacy, whether it's quality or quantity. Do you not feel heard? Do you not feel seen? Do you not feel wanted? What are the core needs and desires that you have? Not an action or behavior that people do that doesn't resonate well with you. Really, it's about what is important and significant to you. Do you want to be seen? Do you want to be heard? Do you want to feel wanted, desired, appreciated? Do you want to feel that you matter, that you value, that you want to feel respected, and that in those areas there's something lacking or not being met, so you can clearly articulate or share with your partner what's important to you. Too oftentimes we talk from our intellect. You do this and I don't like it. Well, that's secondary conversation, and it really doesn't get to the root of the matter. That action creates this type of feeling. It creates a disappointment. It doesn't allow me to feel safe. It doesn't allow me to be or feel wanted. And in this type of relationship, these are key principles, key needs for me, and they're not being met at this moment. But what can we do to shift? If that person's willing to shift with you, no harm, no foul. But at which point you're beginning to communicate and share your core wants, needs, and desires, and you're noticing that there's no response, no positive response, no shift, no change from your partner, and it's beginning to erode who you are, it's time for you to make the healthy choice for you, because at that point, it really becomes a value statement, how much you actually value yourself. I notice oftentimes we hang on to relationships and we allow ourselves to be eroded is because we sometimes, even though we present extremely well, we all do. However, I often question if we really value ourselves based on some of the suffering and the pain that we choose to carry. So it really gets to a point when that pain, when you're experiencing the pain of challenges in relationships, is it eroding you? And how does that connect to how much you value yourself? If you value yourself, should I allow myself to be eroded? Should I allow myself to stay in pain, but for so long? I don't mind being in pain if we're working towards something, but pain for the sake of just suffering has a never ending period. There's sacrifices, but the difference between the sacrifice and suffering is sacrifices have a limit, a time limit. Suffering can be eternal. Decide what's best for you, decide what's healthy, value yourself, and at which point self is being challenged, that's the time to consider leaving. Well, George, I hope that answers your question. Before you go, I'd like you to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and press the notification bell such that you can be notified when new content is being put out and continue to grow. But also feel free on the video to make a comment, leave feedback. I'm looking forward to your continued questions. Again, I want to hear what you have to say. This is an opportunity to some degree to be anonymous and be able to answer the questions we don't always feel safe or comfortable asking. This is your opportunity to grow anonymously and benefit, and again, continue a life worth celebrating. Thank you so very much for your time and your energy, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.